changes which are to come can only come as a result of a program worked out by black people. And for black people to be able to work out a program, they need to defeat the one main element in politics which was working against them, and this was a psychological feeling of inferiority.
Hello, welcome back to the second episode of the Young, Aware and Becoming series, where we discuss conversations around black consciousness, identity and psychological liberation. Today we have a different guest. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us why are you interested in the topic?
Hello everyone who's going to be watching. My name is Matapelo, firstly, and I found this type of topics very much interesting, as it is something that we don't get to talk about as black people. It's something that it's a reality that we try to run away from. Hence, I feel like black empowerment and black awareness is something that we need to stand stem on.
Okay, so what is your definition of black consciousness? What does black consciousness mean to you as a young black South African?
Black consciousness, I would say personally black consciousness, I would say that it is being aware, a state of being aware, obviously, but then being aware as a black person, being aware of the power that you have as a black person, and why you are now not just a person, but you are entitled with a color which is black.
Okay, so what does it mean? What does black mean? Does it mean like this, the state of being, or does it mean like the color of your skin? What does it mean to be black, according to you?
I feel like it's the color. It's what people see on the outside.
Okay.
It's cause that's what, like, it's making us unequal as people. This is why we have races at the beginning, at first. So hence I'm saying that it is a color.
Okay, so let's explore consciousness. You said something about like being aware, right? What are you being aware of? Are you being aware of the color of your skin, or are you being aware of like the state that you're in?
You are being aware of both, because you are in a state that you are in. Why? Because of your color.
Okay.
You are treated the way that you're treated. Why? Because of your color.
Okay, so people need to be aware of both the state and the color of your skin, because that's the reason why we're being treated this way.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so Biko said that to be free, psychological liberation is very important, which means that we have to free our mind from the oppression, right? So what is your view on that? Do you think that freedom starts with the mind, or it starts with like just action?
Now, I think the major question would be, who trains the mind?
Okay.
Because even if in this day we are being raised by parents whereby they were part of apartheid system, and we are born free, but my parent is not a born free, so already their minds were already trained in that manner. And if I'm going to be trained with a person with a person who was part of apartheid before, whereby their minds it's not liberated, they're going to give me the same attitude, and they're going to train my mind in the same manner. Why? Because those are the parameters whereby I'm being raised at.
Okay, so where does liberation start then? Does it start with us, our minds, or because as young black people, we have to free ourselves from the oppression. Okay, let's start there. Let's start from, do you think we are still oppressed?
Yes.
Okay, what do you mean we're still oppressed? Why do you say that?
Again.
Okay, yes and no. Why do you say that?
Because number one, I'm from township. I grew up in a black community. So coming here to institutions whereby it's multiracial, I see that we are definitely not the same with white people. And
okay,
that's the bottom line.
Still not treated the same.
We are never gonna be the same.
Okay.
we're never going to be the same. We're going to isolate ourselves with the people of our kinds, and they're also going to isolate themselves with the people of their kinds.
Okay.
So hence I'm saying that we are still a bit oppressed,
Uh-huh.
but who is oppressing us?
Okay.
It feels like now currently it's ourselves.
Okay, we are the ones who are oppressing ourselves.
Yes.
Okay, so you think the oppression is out of the white man's hands, now it's in the black man's hand.
Yes.
Okay, so why do you think we are the ones who are oppressing ourselves?
If we are trying to seek validation from outside our boundaries,
Okay.
sometimes, okay, I want to say maybe boundaries precisely, but we are now, as black people, we are trying to seek validation from white people mostly,
Okay.
to get their opinions on certain stuff, but we don't even validate ourselves as black people. We don't compliment ourselves as black people. Hence, as well, in still black communities, if you are light skinned but you're black, you are still considered to be a bit of white because you are much more prettier. You are a bit closer to being a white person. So we as black people don't respect each other,
Mm-hmm.
don't have that union within one another. We treat each other unequal.
Mhm.
How are we going to be equal to the whites?
Okay, so what you're saying is that we are oppressing ourselves within our within ourselves, like the black community,
Yes.
right? So okay, so how do we get out of oppressing ourselves then?
That's why I think we should try to go with the system, or maybe the mind,
Okay.
because my generation, our generation,
Yes.
we received education.
Uh-huh.
I feel like most of us did receive education in a proper manner. So it's a matter of us trying to break this generational chain now. And what are we going to to teach the next generation? We can't break chains by going back.
Okay.
We have to focus on today, and then we go forward. We can't change how our parents think,
Okay.
how our elders are in. They are already old.
Mhm.
So it's a matter of what are we going to do with what we have right now.
Okay. Okay. So you said the whole conversation around us black oppressing ourselves, right? Do you think we are the ones who are in charge of the system, or there's like a white master who is in charge of the system?
When I come to South Africa specifically,
Yeah.
the system, the democratic system,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's not justly, because what my mentor said is it's a matter of, if you can put a wise man in a room,
Mhm.
and then if you put 10 men without minds in a room, 10 men are the ones who are going to rule. Why? Because of majority rules.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, I feel like already even if we are in charge of the system,
Mhm.
we don't have power over it. If we have power over it, we don't know how to use that power.
Okay, so if we don't have the power, who has the power? Like, I just want to get to see what you mean by we oppress ourselves, right? I do understand where you're coming from. I just want to know, who is the mastermind, right? Is it like a black person? Is it a white person, right? Is the white man trying to make us fight, like, within ourselves? Is he creating, like, what's this thing? Is he turning us against ourselves, or is it another black man who's turning us against ourselves?
I feel like the system that was planted long ago, which is the apartheid system,
Okay.
already turned a person against himself or
Okay.
herself.
Okay.
So if you are against yourself, how can you be for another person?
Okay.
It's that as well. So it's not a matter of us having to, like, put a blame on a white person, or
Mhm.
us having to put a blame on a black person, because it's now a matter of individuality.
Okay, it's a matter of individuality. Okay, I want you to explore that. What do you mean it's a matter of individuality?
How I see myself,
Uh-huh.
it's not how I'm going to be seen by somebody else.
Okay.
And how am I going to treat other people? And as a
Uh-huh.
black person, I might even feel inferior to another person.
Okay.
Why? Because of maybe their economic state,
Okay.
or maybe because of their skin color, we can
Mhm.
say, or race.
Mm-hmm.
So it's also that, because if I don't feel comfortable, or around a person whom is above me, I don't think I can try to reach them in any manner.
Okay,
Because I feel like I'm now like limiting myself to certain opportunities.
you are oppressing yourselves.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so I think going back to there was this thing, psychological liberation. So you have to tell yourself first that, you know what, I am not inferior to anyone, be a light skinned person, be another black person, another elite and stuff like that. So how does that happen? Like telling yourself that.
I think number one would be a matter of reaching out.
Okay.
Reaching out, being able to seek for help if you think like you need help, and also not you reaching out to who you not, because sometimes you might even go to a psychologist, but then that psychologist is white. Is a matter of, okay, I'm not gonna get treatment from a white person now just because they're white. So we now not look at it in a matter of black people. How are black people choosing white people?
Okay.
How are we? Because white people can say certain stuff to us, but
Okay.
we can say anything to them, which I feel like is a bit unfair.
Okay, so you think there is like a reverse racism?
A reverse racism?
Yeah.
Yes, if we have to put it in that manner, it can be in, yeah, something like that you can say.
So do you think black people are somehow oppressing white people?
Nah, I don't think we can put that, because I feel like oppression is in the hands of one with power.
Okay.
So
In the state, who has the power?
in the state, who has the power? The power is in each person's hand.
Okay, so everyone has a power. So what you're saying is everyone has the power to change the system,
Yes.
right?
because it
Okay,
starts
so
with
how
one
do
person.
how do they use that power that they have to change their system?
How do they use them? How, number one, I feel like they have to learn how can they use it.
Okay.
Because if you have no idea what can you do with the power that you have, you're going to misuse it, or you will not use it until it just go in vain. So I feel like they're doing nothing with the power that they have, unless if it's a bit negative results.
Okay, so from the conversation so far, right, you think that we as black people are free from oppression. We are just not free from ourselves. You know,
Yes,
that's what you're saying,
Yes.
that we are not. Okay. Okay, so I understand you're talking about power, right? You said we have power ourselves. You get us to liberate ourselves. So what kind of power are you talking about? Like what was this power that you say we have within ourselves?
I feel like that power is freedom. You being able to make your own decisions. You being able to pursue your own dreams where you want to be without any limitations of, oh, you are a black person, you can't do this. So I feel that is the kind of power I am all about.
Okay, so if this is your definition of the power in this context, right? So what you're saying is we do have equal opportunities, right, outside. So it's just within yourself to tell yourself that, you know what, I am going to go for this kind of thing, and I'm gonna get it because it's out there, it's waiting for me to make up my mind and then, you know, go and get it. Okay, so do you think there are like limitations to that kind of like power?
Yes, because with the South Africa living under democratic system, it's a matter of you can't do it by yourself.
Okay.
Is no matter if you have the good ideas, you have the idea to change South Africa,
Okay.
but you can't do it by yourself. You need to hear other people's opinions, even though they're wrong. You still have to hear them because it's the majority rule. It's that.
So it has to be, so your power has to be turned into like a collective thing so that it can have a voice.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so how does that happen? How then does one get to make it a collective thing?
I believe that it can be started with a campaign. If you have a certain idea, you start with a campaign. Let's not make it a black campaign. Let's make it a multiracial campaign, because if
Okay.
we still go into black campaign, we're still moving into one cycle. It's a matter of there are black peoples and there are also white peoples.
Okay.
Not saying that we should ignore pigmentation.
Uh-huh.
No, that's something that we must not ignore. My color, my story.
Okay.
But as well, let's try to be a unity.
Okay. So, okay, I want to ask this. What's your opinion on the whole Rainbow Nation? Because from what I'm hearing is that for you, you're saying that by collective, what's this thing? By being a collective, it does not have to just be like black people, like a black collective. It has to be like white people, all those things. So, what's your view on the whole Rainbow Nation thing?
Rainbow Nation, I feel like we must not try to limit other people's ideas of how they appear to the society. And as well, just because you don't approve of the person, you must not approve of the ideas. Just because you reject the person, don't reject the ideas, because it's something that can build South Africa or the whole nation.
Okay, I get you. Okay, so I want us to go back to the whole equal opportunities and stuff like that. But what about the systematic inequalities that we have currently in South Africa, right? Do you think they allow us as individuals, you get what I'm saying, to actually go and pursue, let's say, our dreams and stuff like that? Do you think that the inequalities allow us to do that?
Because I won't say the only,
Mm-hmm.
but the most accessible opportunity is education, the one that we've been given to.
Okay, so you think education is very much accessible to anyone?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a matter of us trying to like stand on what they gave us, and whatever that we have to like make more ideas on it, not just lean into education, it will allow us to explore more opportunities. Let's use it to build more, create more, and think more.
Okay, so you saying that education is like, because if everyone has the right to education, we are like, it is like the foundation, to like a collective power and stuff like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so on the whole matter of education, right? Okay, so how does that work then? How do we use education to liberate ourselves from ourselves?
Number one, I feel like comparison it's something that it's also liberating us.
Okay.
Me comparing myself to another black child in class,
Okay.
it's something that's also stopping me from pursuing more.
Okay.
So, for example, where I come from, it's a matter of I can't be like her because of this and this and this.
Okay.
But then we are both black, number one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even though maybe we're not coming from the same background, but most of it's similar.
Okay, most of the black backgrounds are similar.
Yes.
So, okay, so the question was like, what do we do with the education that we have to oppress, to liberate ourselves from the oppression that we have? How do we use this education that we're given, right?
I think we should set ourselves like free from economic burdens.
Okay.
If we can use it and get maybe careers,
Okay,
about jobs,
Uh-huh.
careers straight, and then we try to free ourselves from the economic state that we come from as black people, most
Mhm.
black people, and then we try to build something on that.
Mm-hmm.
We can use education from it. Maybe study finance or
Okay.
law, finance especially.
Okay.
Create a business about it,
Okay.
because now it will teach you the pros and the cons of it. Not saying that one cannot start a business without education,
Okay.
but it will advance the business.
Okay, I get where you're coming from. Now that we're talking about like job opportunities and stuff, do you think we have enough job opportunities for that?
I think it also goes with the skills.
Okay.
Do people have skills for the jobs available in South Africa?
Okay, so people don't have those skills.
Maybe others do,
Okay.
but mostly others just leave those opportunity like education, for example,
Mhm.
you just leave it like in the middle. People don't finish their matric, and
Okay.
then they also still expect to find proper jobs
Okay.
to feed their families. Whereas you don't have those skills to qualify to
Mhm.
get a certain job. So it's also that.
Okay. I think because you said that the liberation starts with ourselves, right? And then you right now saying that sometimes when we are given these opportunities like education, we don't use them. You get what I'm saying? So I think it goes back to the idea that, you know what, we are actually oppressing ourselves. You get what I'm saying? So we're given these opportunities, we don't use them as we're supposed to use them, and then after that, do you think we blame someone else for the oppression that we are in?
People do tend to blame other people about it.
Okay.
Especially they maybe put the blame on our leaders.
Okay.
Not saying that we have the best leaders. I'm
Okay.
not saying it.
Okay.
There's still the cons in South Africa that we are seeing and everything that is happening. But it's also that.
Okay. So I want us to to explore the the topic on freedom, right? You did mention something about freedom somewhere in the conversation, right? So I want to understand what does this freedom mean to you?
I can't say I have like an individual meaning about it,
Uh-huh.
because I feel I have it because I am born free.
Okay.
First of all,
Okay.
hence I said that we aren't being oppressed by anyone else except that we are oppressing ourselves. Now
Mhm.
the freedom part, it comes on, are you free from yourself? Are you free from the
Okay.
apartheid system that they installed within our minds?
Okay.
It's about that. It's all about being free from
From
it's
yourself.
yes, and also
Okay.
from the apartheid system that was installed within our psychology.
Okay. Okay, so because we have explored what's this thing? The oppression within the black community, right? I want us to talk about like the inequalities within the community itself, because we are not equal as black people economically, right? We're not equal. There are some of black people who are doing better than the others. There's some that were able to liberate themselves. You get what I'm saying? So what is their impact to the others that are still oppressed?
I think this also goes back where we have to look at it back. How did they liberate themselves?
Okay,
Number one.
okay.
We were, bottom line is, we were all black people. We are still all black people.
Yes.
And then who got the opportunity within the black system?
Okay.
I feel like it's the one who chased the opportunity.
Okay.
So those who chased the opportunity, they liberated themselves.
Uh-huh.
But then now it's a matter of are they trying to be equal to white people?
Oh, okay.
Forgetting where they're coming from.
Okay.
Being black. Just because you are in a white community
Mhm.
as a black person doesn't make you white.
Okay.
So
Do you okay? Do you think there are any help to the people who are still oppressed? Like, as a black person within a black community, you would think the moment you liberate yourself, you're gonna pass that type of liberation or whatever mechanisms you use to liberate yourself to others, so that they can liberate themselves, they can be as free as you. Do you think this is what is being done in the black community? Do you think we're being passed down the letter by other black?
no.
Okay.
That's definitely no. It's more like a man for himself.
Okay.
Yeah. Because immediately as a black child
Uh-huh.
growing up in a black community,
Yes.
you know what goes on in the black street.
Yeah.
Your aim is to get out of those streets.
Okay, so when
That's
you get out for yourself. You don't get out you don't take other people with you.
No, you don't. It's every man for himself. What I'm seeing, what's happening in this current moment.
Okay, so what do you think of that? What do you think of the whole one man for himself?
I wouldn't say it's unfair,
Okay.
because we all maybe got the same opportunity initially.
Okay.
But then as we grow, what would we do with those opportunities?
Okay.
If a person gets an opportunity for themselves, we can't say they're treating others unfairly just because they have that opportunity.
Okay.
It's
So the bottom line is we have the same opportunities. What differs is how we use those opportunities. You get what I'm saying? Like, how if we ever chase those opportunities, right? Okay, I understand. Okay, so I want us to touch on black excellence, right? what is black excellence to you?
The whole concept of like black excellence, why do we have to like put a race in it? Why do we have to put a color in it? Why can't
Okay.
it just be excellent?
Okay, so it does not have to be
A black excellence.
black excellence.
We are all people at the end of the day. I feel
Uh-huh.
like we have the same capacity or
Uh-huh.
capability. So it's a matter of how are we doing with it? And if one person achieves or a black person achieves, why do we have to celebrate because it's a black person who achieved? Why can't we just celebrate for the fact that it's a person who achieved it, not a black person?
Okay, I think maybe it is because of the what's this thing, the inequalities that we have. You get what I'm saying? White people are what's this thing are more likely to make it than black people. You get what I'm saying? Hence we have what's this thing, black excellence, where we praise the black man for doing what a white man does every day. You get what I'm saying? So what do you think of that?
I feel like it's been decades now we've been freed from the apartheid system.
Okay.
And it's a matter of, if it was still an apartheid system by then, I felt we could have called it a black excellence. We should call it
okay,
a
so
black
because
excellence.
now we all have equal opportunities, white, black, we have equal opportunities. It shouldn't be black excellence, it should just be excellence.
Yes.
Because like, don't put race on it.
Yes.
Don't take it as race. Okay, so just to conclude, I want us to what's this thing, to explore what to do as a black person every day. How do you affirm your identity as a black person, and on a daily basis, what can you do on a daily basis to change, to liberate yourself from the oppression?
I feel number one, we should not forget what our ancestors did for us.
Okay.
And it's a matter of respecting it and honoring it.
Okay.
Hence we have to try and push more so that those who died for us didn't just die only in vain.
Okay.
And we have to honor them by doing what they died for us. For example, education.
Okay.
We're taking education. Why? Because now our ancestors died for it. Now
Okay.
it's in my hands to do what they did for me. And as a person, it's not saying that you should not see who I am, or you should not see my skin color just because, but I don't want you to define my capabilities
Okay.
with my skin color.
Okay.
Hence I look at myself as a person,
Okay.
not just as a black person, but as a person.
Okay. Okay, so from what I get from the conversation is that we shouldn't put race on everything. You get what I'm saying? We are free from racism and stuff like that. We need to start working our way up. Right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you.